Hey everyone, welcome back to Fit Mom Mia. Today I have a really good dinner for you. We will be making salmon, and this is like one of my favorite foods. So be sure that you like and share the video and subscribe to my channel. Let's get cooking. Okay everyone, so I have my salmon right here. I didn't season it yet, but I will say, when you cook any type of fish, poultry, or any meats, anything from an animal, please wash it. I don't know why I have to tell people to do that, but I think it's really necessary to stress, because not everybody washes their meats. You can't take things out of the package and just, slap it on the pan and cook. You got to really get all the gook and grime or whatever that's on there, wash it off. And I can do another video where I'm showing you how you can prep certain things. You can use like some type of an acid like vinegar or limes or lemons to help clean, but it's just good to get the bacteria off. So like I said, I have the salmon here. I already washed it and I have them on trays. So first things first, I am going to put some water at the bottom of the tray, just so that it doesn't like stick and get super hard at the bottom. And then I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil. Now, not too much, but this is mainly for the bottom of the tray, so that way it doesn't stick. Because, I didn't take off the skin. I don't feel like doing all that, all right? So this is what we're about to do. Now, for all my seasonings, I just use the same things usually. I use adobo. Yeah. People will be like, well, why do you use that? Well, for one, adobo is good because it has like salt, garlic powder in here, and like turmeric. So you have spices in there. It also has pepper, but you have spices that, you don't have to get different containers and like pour it on. It's all in one. So that's why I like it too. This is not the Goya brand. This is a different brand, but whatever, it tastes the same. So just sprinkling that on. And then with seafood, I like to use Obey seasoning. It has a nice kick to it. So I'm not going to add too much, because then my daughter will be like, it's spicy, mommy. So I won't use that, too much of that. But then I also have some herb garlic sauce. I'm going to just finish the rest of this because I had some from when I made chicken. And this you can use on chicken, fish, whatever. I'm going to just coat it with the marinade. So I finished up this one. I do have another one. I'm going to pour it on here. Just enough to like cover it. It doesn't have to be like, saturated in sauce, but, do that. Put a little bit more in this one because this one's a fattier piece. So this salmon was about this big. So it's pretty big guy. All right, so I'm gonna add some thyme on top. And I already have my oven preheated for 350. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in. I'm going to put it on the top rack. So I'm gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes and I'm gonna take it out, check on it. And I also like to put, something on top. I'm gonna surprise you with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven right now. And in about 10 minutes, check on it. All right, so boom, both of those are in the oven, right? So the next thing that I have here is some string beans. These are called French string beans. And what I like about them is that you don't have to go and pluck them. I get this at BJ's and they're already pre-plucked and ready to go. I usually just, again, wash it and then I'll put it into the pot and it's ready to cook. So this is just one package and it's pretty good amount in there. So like I said, I already washed it, and I have a pot over here waiting. So in this pot, first things first, turn it on. I'm gonna add some olive oil to the pot. And after I do that, you do want to add some water again so it could cook. So I have some water in here. All right. And then I'm going to throw these in. Now, as far as the seasoning goes, honestly, do whatever seasoning that you like to use. If it's just salt and pepper, that's not really seasoning to me, but if that's what you like, use it. I'm going to use my same seasoning. I'm not going to put Obey in here, but I'm going to use adobo. And I usually have like garlic salt too, but I ran out. So I have Mrs. Dash, the garlic and pepper. I'm going to add that in here. And then I also have garlic flakes too. I like garlic, so if you don't, obviously don't add it. But I'm going to add that there. I have it on about medium heat. And I'm going to go ahead and put the top on. And add water as you see fit. So if you feel like it's starting to dry out, just add a little bit more water and just stir. Now, towards the middle of the cooking process, I will be adding some margarine. So I will put that on the side here. The next thing that I'm going to cook is brown rice. So I'm going to do a cup because sometimes I'll have a lot of rice left over and I don't really want that. So I'm going to go ahead. I didn't have my pan prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and get a pan. Again, drizzle some olive oil at the bottom. Now with rice, some people do it this way, some don't. It's up to you. But one option is you could put olive oil, put the rice in, stir it around, let it get coated in olive oil. That's kind of my way of doing it. And then I put the water on top. Now it depends on what type of rice you want to make, but I'm just gonna do plain brown rice today just because I just got back from church. I'm tired, so this is what I'm going to do. So I'm gonna put this in here, just 1 cup. You know what, maybe I'll do 2. I'm gonna do 2 cups so that way I can meal prep for the week. All right, so whatever I have left over, I will put it in like a meal prep. Since, I work out a lot, it's easier to like grab and get meals easily. And especially if I have sides already cooked, it's so easy for me to get a protein. And during the week, it's busy. It gets a little crazy. So, I like to do it this way. So I'm put that to the side. Get a spoon. You're going to stir it. Just make sure it gets coated in the olive oil. The reason why I like doing it this way is just that it adds a little bit of flavor. You can also, when you put the water in, you can season it at that moment so everything cooks in. That's another option too. But I'm going to go ahead and add some water to the pot. Now, since we did 2 cups of rice, you need to double the water. So you need to do 4 cups of water. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Get my 4 cups. Now, I do have a rice cooker. However, I didn't open it yet, so I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure it'll work better than the pan, and then it cooks nice and evenly. I usually don't have a problem when I cook rice because I'm always checking it. But if you're one of those people that need to walk away and get other tasks done in the house, totally fine. Use a rice cooker. Maybe I'll do a video when I actually use it. I have an Instapot, actually. I won it at work, and I never used it. It's still in the box, and I think I got it back in, I want to say March. Not really sure. Maybe February. I don't know, but I never used it. So I'm going to go ahead and season this up. Mix that around. and then you're just going to let it cook. It's going to take a while. So first things first, you want to have it on slightly high heat. So I put it on a 7 out of 10. And when that boils, then I'll turn it down. So we're just going to wait until that cooks down a little bit more. Then we keep like stirring it. But the whole point is with rice, you do want to keep it covered. So if you're going to stir it, maybe do it once or twice, but then continue to cover it so it could cook, especially brown rice. Brown rice takes a long time to cook. It's about 25 minutes. But the reason why I use brown rice, and yes, I know it doesn't taste the best, but it's healthier for you. It contains the whole entire grain. That's why it's called 100% whole grain. So usually with the white rice, they strip some of the grain and then they bleach it. That's why it's white. And anything that's white, I say ain't right. So when it comes to like white rice, breads, crackers, anything like that, it's just not right because it's stripped from its natural grain. You want to only have things that are like brown and that say whole grain on there, 100% whole grain. So it's just a healthier option. Yes, do I cook with white rice? I do sometimes. When I want to make rice and beans and I want it to taste really good, I'll make it. But here's the thing though, if you're trying to be healthier, you do want to make that switch, because you want to have wholesome food. It's not to say you can't have the other things sometimes. It's everything in moderation. But I'm used to this taste of brown rice because I've been eating it for years. I've been eating healthy foods for years. So my taste buds may be different from someone who constantly eats like fast food or like food that's like stripped of its natural state, like the processed foods and things of that nature. So I will say, once again, it doesn't taste the same, but you need to get used to the taste. It does cook longer. It is a little bit of a harder texture, but it's healthier. I don't know what you want me to do. It's healthier. So, you just have to, gotta roll with it. I'm looking for this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and get a pot holder. I'm gonna check on the fish. It's already been 10 minutes. So yeah, the fish looks pretty good. Let me bring it closer and try not to spill it. If you can see, I'm trying not to spill it. I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. Let me move this. There we go. Look at that. It's nice and seasoned because I like to season my food. So, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna just get another pot holder to place here. The reason why I'm taking it out is because, like I said, you want to check your food halfway so that nothing burns. And two, you just want to make sure it's cooking well, which it is because it's getting a lighter pink. But what I was going to put on top is a tomato. Yes, I like tomato slices on my salmon. If you never tried it before, try it. Don't knock it until you try it. But that's what I'm going to put on there. So I'm going to go ahead and slice some tomatoes, put it right on top. Now, I'm only going to do it for one of them because my daughter does not like cooked tomatoes. She likes raw tomatoes. So I'm just going to put it here like that. And then she could eat from the other side. So I have the tomatoes on here, as you can see. And just going to go pop it back into the oven. So here I am, putting it back in, maybe another 10 minutes or so. I don't know. All right, so let's check on some of our other things that we have over here. So our green beans, they're going to need a little bit water. So I added some in. Also for margarine, I'm going to put some in. You're probably going to ask how much. Whatever you desire to put in there. Obviously, don't put the whole container. You do what you feel is enough for you. If you are on a diet, you should probably put like a tablespoon. I'm not on a diet, so That's why I say it depends. The only time I'm going to give you actual measurements is if we're baking cookies or something. That's the only time when measurements really, really, really matter. When I cook, I don't really measure too much unless it's rice or pasta or, well, not pasta, but or quinoa. And I have to use a certain amount because it has to have a certain cup of water or whatever. And with brown rice, you do want to make sure that you have enough water in there because it will be hard. It's not the same as white rice where you can kind of guess. You can't guess with brown rice. So I'm going to just take it, look at it. It's almost coming to a boil. Looking good. All right, I spilled a little bit on the side here, so I'm going to just wipe it up. Ooh, there we go. Spilled a little water. But other than that, everything is looking good. So I'm going to just continue to let everything cook. And we're going to see how it is or when it's done.
2,000 years later.
Okay, everyone. So all the food is complete. I have my plate over here. And we're going to taste it. Well, I am because you're watching. But anyway, so I have my salmon. I'm just going to get a little piece because I'm going to eat with my family, but we're just going to do a taste test, even though I already know it's good because I know how to cook. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just so you know, overall, the salmon was in the oven for about 20-25 minutes. I turned the oven off at 20 minutes and I let it sit in there for an additional 5, and it's very, very, very moist, so it's not dried out or anything like that. I didn't put any foil over it or anything. Sometimes I will broil my salmon, but today I didn't, so just so you know. And then the string beans, that took about 25 minutes as well. And then the rice, wow, the rice almost went towards maybe 30 minutes. It takes a long time. And this is why people get white rice too, is because brown rice does take a while to cook. It just does. But like I said, it's healthier. So this is my plate. It looks like a plate of a toddler, but it's just a taste. And I'm just going to describe what everything tastes like. So the salmon is really good. Like I said, it's really moist. And the good part about baking it too is that the skin comes right off. So if you leave the skin on because you don't feel like cutting it off, totally fine. You can go to the store and have the skin shaved off, but just know you still gonna pay for the price with the skin on, because what they do is they weigh it first, then they get the skin off and then give it to you. But either way, you're going to be paying, the original price. So I just want you to keep that in mind just in case. I always thought if they take the skin off, then they'll weigh it. Nope, they weigh it first. So just a side note. So again, really moist. This is an Atlantic salmon. Typically they're farm raised. So I won't say eat a lot of that because depending on where and what farm, they could be fed something that's not so great. But wild caught salmon is better. Typically the wild caught salmon is sockeye salmon. I don't like that. It has more of a bolder taste and it's more pink and it's less fatty. So that's just me. I prefer this type of salmon, but I don't eat it often for it to do anything to me. Like I said, eat things in moderation. Unfortunately, most of our food in this country is tainted. So what you do, you pray over it and you eat. That's what you do. Just pray, because our Heavenly Father is going to stop any chemical or any sickness from harming you if you have faith in Jesus Christ. So I'm going to just put that out there, because there's always going to be that person to say, oh, well, you can't eat that because this is this. Try your best to eat healthy. Sometimes, you get things on your plate that might not be the greatest, but it is what it is. So let's try the rice now. Now, the rice is good. I added seasoning in with the water, so it absorbed a lot of the seasoning, which is great because sometimes I'll put the seasoning after it cooked and it doesn't really take it well. So that is actually a smarter idea. Season the water with the rice. Some of you are probably like, duh, why didn't you do that before? I just never did, okay? Back off. So, and I also too added a little bit of margarine to the rice as well, just to give it some extra flavors. Okay? Now, the string beans. Excellent. Cooked well. Not super soft and mushy. Sometimes string beans can be like that if you overcook it. I don't like that. It's disgusting when it tastes super mushy. For my vegetables, I like my vegetables to have a slight crunch to it or just be really cooked but not soft. This tastes good. You really taste the garlic in it. So everything just came together very well. So let me know in the comments after you make this meal, how did you like it? Would you make it again? Because honestly, I think it's bomb. So what I'm about to do right now is call my family downstairs and we are about to have a nice Sunday dinner together. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. God bless. Bye.